Hey kittens, welcome back to another video. Yes, I am building a mafia mansion. Really, it's a gangster mansion, but I didn't know if I wanted to put that on the Sims. I'm gonna do something a little different with this edit, by the way, because I wanted to show what the house looks like. This is from late night, I believe. Yeah, where the city and stuff like that. I wanted to show the city. Is it Bridgeport? I'm trying to remember the name of the city, but I wanted to show what the house was, what it looked like. It's not sped up. I just wanted to give y'all a view before I did it. I was going to build the house as is because, as you know, I've said before, I am not good at exterior designs. I do not like doing exterior designs. It's not my forte. Only interior. That's why I don't really do much with the outside of the home other than maybe just change the color. But I did not like how it was looking, so I needed to change it a bit. So I'm gonna show some pictures in a bit. I'm not gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna show the pictures of what I did before and after, because I decided to do this, not record me basically fixing it up or changing it. I decided to not record it because I'm just not good at this, okay? And I needed to concentrate, and I didn't want to record my struggles, okay? So it's basically just going to be me skipping ahead in a second. You're going to see, I'm basically just going to show you before and after pictures because I was struggling and I did not want to record me struggling. See? See, I just want to show y'all some pictures before and after. This is me not touching the house. This is how the house already looked. So if you want to build the house in the game, and this is what I did to it after. Now I know you guys are probably upset and wished I would have showed the progress of how I got it to look like this, and honestly I wish I would have recorded it too. But like I said, I think I was working on this for like an hour. I used cheats. I was trying to figure out what style to do. I was deleting stuff, remaking stuff. I added a basement to it because I was like, you know what, if it's gonna be a mafia house, they need an escape room. So I built a basement because why have a mansion and no basement? I don't know, I just feel like every mansion needs a basement, you know, just extra floors, maybe even a second basement. But no, I didn't go that far. I just only had two. So that's what I did. So this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it didn't stay like this. You're gonna realize in the end that it looks a little different. Like, oh, why does it look so different? You know, where is everything? As I was recording and filming, the game froze on me, and I think you're gonna see that later on, that it froze and I ended up having to basically stop recording, and I had to rebuild everything, redo everything. So it's not gonna look the same, but I already filmed the process of this and I didn't want to do it again, and it was already late at night, so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep this in. It doesn't matter, I'm just gonna keep this in. And I basically had to go back and redo every single thing. I was so upset. The game froze on me, and I was hoping that it was just a glitch. I was hoping that it wasn't true, and I tried to save the process. I tried, I really did, but I could not. When you're on build mode and if the game freezes on you, there's no way you can really save the game. Unless you're not on build mode, there is a way you can still save your process, but if you're not on build mode, you're just SOL. So yeah, all this process you're seeing, I'm looking at it and my heart is melting because I know what is there to come. I took so much time in thinking about what I wanted to do, how I wanted to design. I loved the colors. I loved how everything came out. And you know, of course it takes me time because like I'm kind of going along as I go. I don't really like have a blueprint and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna follow along this blueprint. I literally just have an idea in my head and I just roll with the punches. And yeah, so I was very disappointed when all of this was deleted. I had to basically redo the whole thing, and I tried to copy it as best as I could. Of course it wasn't exactly the same. You're going to see the changes later on in this video, but I tried to do the best I could to basically copy what I had. And like, thank God I took pictures. I took pictures beforehand, and those pictures that you saw earlier I took before the game froze because I just wanted to see the process. Thankfully hey, I saved the process of me building the house. So I didn't have to struggle again with you basically like making it look like a modern mansion. I didn't have to struggle with that at all because I struggled so hard. I was like, you know, I'm going to save my process cuz why not? And I saved it, and thank God, because you know when you're really into the game, you just forget to save and you're just playing. You don't think your game is going to crash, so you just keep playing. Yeah, I almost did that. So basically what I had to redo was the color of the house. Those pictures you saw, scratch that, not the same. Like, just the basically it's just the build is the same. The build is the same. I had to redo the exterior, but not like the building process, just the coloring. And I tried to match the color of the walls, the color of the floor as best as I could. The color of the roof, I tried to. It's not exactly alike, but I got it close enough. I had to redo this entire basement. So as you're looking at it now, and if you're looking at the after pictures and you're confused, like, what? It looked like this, but now it looks like that. That's why. It's because I think, was it right here? I don't know, but it deleted completely. And I had to do it all over again, and I basically re-recorded everything in hopes that no one noticed. But to be honest with you, I decided, why not just be honest with the fact that I had to start all the way over. So yeah, so enjoy it while you can, because I'm just looking at this and just weeping, because none of this, all this right here, had to do it all over again. All of this you're seeing, I had to go back and do it again. So yeah, I don't know where it cuts off, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time in case you're a little confused of why something switched, or if I did a good job you know, making it look exactly the same that you didn't even notice. Heck, maybe I didn't even notice that it basically is not the same. You know. But yeah, this is my idea. When I came to this, I was literally downloading mods for my Sims to kind of make my Sims gameplay like a little bit more fun. And I came across like a gangster style, like you could be a gangster as a career. And I tried to see if I can have that in my game. I could not. They gave me the clothes, but they didn't give me the job. So I must check again to see like how I can become my Sim can become a gangster. But I was like, why not? So I had this story in my mind about who's gonna live here, the type of family, and we are in Bridgeport. I think that's what this town is called. Okay, check me if I'm wrong. But I was like, okay, this is a family of gangsters. They're evil criminals. They got this house, you know, by, you know, theft money and stuff like that. And you know, when you realize like people like with like that are mafia mansions, you know, their house is so unique and beautiful at the same time, but it has so many hidden gems, and I just kind of want to incorporate that with this build. But I'm not gonna lie, once you get upstairs, like it just looks normal. It looks like a normal home, but I say it because it has a lot of windows, okay? And downstairs, that's where it all happens. And if I could, I probably would have like had like a secret like weapon area if I could have that in The Sims. But let's just pretend that it's down there, okay? But I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling upstairs because I had no idea what I wanted to necessarily do with the interior for upstairs, because I basically deleted everything and did everything from scratch. I extended the walls, I did the build a lot of funky, and the windows are pretty high, and you can see once you get upstairs, you can see the lining of the windows. I wish that did not exist. I tried to cover it up with rugs and stuff like that so you couldn't see it. But I wasn't going to delete it because, like I said, it already got deleted. I already had to do it all over twice from scratch. And on top of that, like I spent like over an hour struggling to make this home like not look so funky. So yeah, I'm proud of myself with this build. I did wish I could have did more with it, But I have to remember, like, from my experiences dealing with people who have money, they ain't got nothing in their house. I'm not even being funny. Like, any, like, I'm being dead serious. Like, unless, like, say, who's ever watching, you got money, you got a lot of stuff in your house, like, kudos to you. But people that I've been with, like, been over their house and, like, you know, hang out with them and their parents have money, I be coming over to their house, like, so y'all got a couch and a TV? And the only thing that's decorated is the dining room. Like, I'm just like, I go to their room, I'm like, oh, this is your room? Just the bed? That's it? Like, you would think that because, like, you go outside their parents, they have a lot of money, like, they have more. But it's just, like, I'm poor and I got more than you. But so, like, when I was thinking of this, like, I try not to do too much because, like, I have, like, an expectation of how poor people live. I mean, not poor people, I'm poor, how rich people live. And I'm thinking, like, oh, they have all the money in the world so they can afford an interior designer. But, you know, for some reason their house just be looking barren. So I was like, you know what, let me not do too much. But I did do, this is a family home, by the way. This is my first family home built in a long time. In my past videos, I've talked about it in my last video, but I've been building literally just single person homes. Like, they ain't got no kids, they ain't got nobody, it's just them, they themselves, everything. Like, I've been building homes just for, like, single people. But this is my first time building a home for a family. Yes, they are a gangster family. They have kids, they have children, and they're criminals, okay? Like, just because you're a criminal don't mean you can't have kids, a life. They're just mafias, you know? So, yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me make a family home, and, like, the kids, I decided to, like, do a home for, like, they only have one girl, they have 3 boys, and one, like, you know, one sets of twins, you know, the 2 little boys. So a teenage girl. So I decked out her room because, you know, she's a teenage girl, you know, she likes pink and all that other stuff. I decked out her room that you're gonna see. But you know what, before I get there and get really into that, I loved her room. Honestly, if I was a kid, oh, that would be my dream. But I mean, you know what, I'm grown, I can have that now. But no, her style's not really my style. I think it's cute though. But anyways, back to let's focus on this living room and dining room. So yeah, I really was struggling. Like, I feel like my struggle builds are my best builds. Like, anytime I'm struggling and anytime I'm trying to figure out a layout or, like, what to do, I feel like that turns out to be, like, one of my best builds compared to, like, when I have an idea and I try to execute it. Am I saying that right? When I try to, execute it. I try to do that, and I look at it and I'm just like, ooh, it don't look as good as I imagine it. Just, or like I'm really struggling. But with this, I had a weird layout going on, and for some reason I insisted on having like an open space when you go upstairs. Like, I wanted to have this little gap that you see where you can see downstairs, and I could have made it smaller. I could have had no gap at all, and they could have like a bigger walking space, but I was like, no. And if I wanted to, I could have made it bigger and in another place, but like I said, I didn't even film myself building this. I literally skipped this entire part. I didn't film any of it because I didn't want y'all to see me struggle. Because if I would have filmed this entire thing, as far as where we're 14 minutes in, yeah, we would still be on that. Okay, so so I'm sorry, but if you guys do want me to like build something from scratch and want me to actually like film the whole process, because hey, you could be learning too. This is how I learned to do builds. Was watching other people, then I'll gladly be like, you know what, I'm gonna put away my pride and do that for you, because let's struggle together. Why not? But this actually turned out not as bad, but it did make my layout funky, and trying to figure out where I wanted to put the parents' room, the kids' room, the bathrooms. Like, it only has 2 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms. 5 bedrooms. Yeah, but I made the 5th bedroom like a cat bedroom, so they have a pet cat, and it made it like a, cause why not? Why can't animals have their own room? So yeah, I instead of like making a bedroom, it could be a baby room, which I was gonna do like a baby room, but I was just like, nah, it's too cliche. Let me do something different. So I made it a cat room. They ain't got no babies. And I decided to make this the parents' room. Like I was just trying to figure out what to do with each and every layout, and the parents' room has an open bathroom where they don't have no doors, but they could install doors if they want to. But no, they have an open bathroom. They can walk in and out, you know. If, you know, the husband decides he wants to take a dookie, then everybody's suffering because the door can't close. But they do have their little private area, which you see in that little corner where the toilet is. And, you know, with this bedroom, I'm trying to figure out how I want to style it. I did like how it already looked. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute on its own. Like, everything. Like, I liked how it's looking, you know. But you know me, I gotta be extra, so I added some other stuff. I added some color, and I have a bad habit of trying to cover every space. Any blank canvas I see, my brain is like, cover it, color it, something. I can't stand a blank canvas. So I had to do everything in my power to not cover that little corner right there. And I moved on to the next one because it was gonna get to me. Okay, it was gonna get to me the longer I stared at it. And I tried figuring out what to do. This is gonna be like the teenager boys room. Even with this room, like, it wasn't my favorite, but it's a teenage boy. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not good at building like boys room because, you know, I'm a girl. And I've seen boys rooms, and I think only a few I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, it was only one that I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is nice. And all the others I'm like, it's pretty lackluster if you tell me. But so yeah, like, anytime I'm like building like a teenage room for my Sims, I'm not gonna lie, even like inspo pics, which you see in the movies, like, I feel like Disney movies gave it more character. But for girls' rooms, like, I feel like a lot of people put more effort into a girls' room because it just gives you so much more creativity. There's a lot more stuff for girls than boys. So, but you know what? Boys deserve things too. We can't just leave them out. So I tried to put something there. With this room, I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. Did I disappear? Don't tell me I disappeared again. Oh my god, for how long? Hold on, guys, I'm gonna come right back. Okay, welcome back. I can't believe I did that. I disappeared. I have a bad habit of that. That is something I need to work on. Like, I'll be so distracted while mid-build doing something that I forget to either pause or, you know, stop recording. I just walk away. But you know what? It's better than my last video where I disappeared for approximately 4 minutes. On sped. So, you know, just think about that. So, and one of my builds, I cut it, but I was gone for an hour while recording. I need to work on that. Sorry about that. My apologies. But as you can see, this is the cat room that I was going to talk about. Look at their little portrait of the cat. Cute, ain't it? And I was just like, you know what? I was honestly interested in the cat room more than any of the other rooms because I'm just like, I just thought it was really cute. And they got money. They can do that, you know? And if they decide they needed that extra room, say one of them get pregnant, then one of them, if the mom, if the mama get pregnant, you know, they got a little room right there, you know? Or they could put them in the basement. You know, what's wrong with putting the baby in a basement? It's still a room. They got a house over their head. Not a roof, but a house. They good. Or, I mean, I guess one of the teenagers could move there. But I downloaded these like Pikachu posters from a mod, and I thought they were so cute. I had to have them. They had Sailor Moon. They had what's those little animals? Cinnamon and Kakumi. Is that their name? Kakami? Yeah. They had a lot of them, but I knew Kirby, and I wanted Kirby, so I decided to I wanted to make her room like cutesy, but I ended up kind of making it cutesy, but also like Y2K style. And honestly, I didn't hate it. Her room was loud. Like, I wanted her room to be like soft and like cute and like girly, but it was cute and it was girly, but it wasn't soft. It was loud. Her room versus like her brother's room was very like, you walk in there and you're wondering if you're still in the same house. But I see it as this: each kid has their own personality, and what's wrong with one kid standing out from the others? And one thing I'm trying to do when I do girls' room is try to stay away from pink. Every time I'm doing a girls' room, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I always gotta go with something pink. Pink, 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 pink. And I'm trying to do other colors, because personally for me, you would think that my room is pink. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my room is black and green and brown. That's my color palette, and a little bit of gold. That is my color palette in my room right now. And before I moved to this house, my color palette was all over the place. But it was always dark colors. I guess you could say kind of like a retro vibe going on. And now it's kind of like a witchy vibe. But I never had a girly room. Never. And so for me to do my Sims like that, you would think that I do have a girly room. But just because I don't have a girly aesthetic in real life doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it. I think it's beautiful. Now with this, I wanted to see if this wallpaper or the plain one would look good. I did like the plain, but I liked the wall color that I did. I did that one on accident, and then I was like, maybe I'll just do one side, not her whole room pink. Maybe that's enough. And maybe the curtains, and it's already loud, it's already loud enough, and it looks good, but it wasn't giving. So I changed it up, made it black, and just kind of make her I like Kirby, I like anime, I like Y2K style. I just made her personality just be all over the place, but matchy. And then I was like, oh, it's looking a little too black and pink. Black pink! But I decided to add some color. I was gonna change, what's that Pokemon called? Zorlok? I was gonna make him pink, but I actually just kept him that way. And I wanted to make the brother add some color too, and not just gray, have some green in there, because why not? Surfboard. Does he go surfing? No, but he has a big old pool out there, so why not? But I enjoyed making her room. I thought it was so cute and so interesting, and I was just thinking of her personality. These are the twin boys' room. I was gonna usually when I'm doing twins, I mix match it to make it they have their own personality. But honestly, I made everything the same. I think that what changes is the poster I put above their bed. But I think at this point I was I'm doing too much. Let me just do it as in when you're doing a showroom, it looks cute, but it's not too much. Somebody lives there. Yeah, I was let me just make it look like it was a showroom. So that's exactly what I did with the twins' room. And honestly, the parents' room too. And kind of the brother's room, kind of added a little something. But, I don't think it looks bad. I actually liked how everything turned out. I think everything was cute despite the weird layout. The layout was very weird. But, yeah, this is... Man, I can ramble. But these are the kids' room, and they know that their parents are criminals? Maybe. Honestly, I already built the family that I had in mind for this. And do they know that their family are criminals? Yes, no, ish, maybe. So they go to a good school, they live a good life, they have friends that got money. But I'm being honest, they can go broke any day. They got luxury cars and everything. And when I was building this house, I wanted to see how much it would be for the Sims to move into this house. And you want to know how much I made this house cost? And I didn't even like go all out as much as I would want to. But I think I would say it was the vehicles that I put downstairs that really made the price go up that high. Y'all want to take a guess? Okay, here are your choices. Number 1. Oh, sorry. If you choose, okay, let me start over. Here are your choices. A, the house costs 500,000 simoleons. B, the house costs 2 million simoleons. C, the house costs 100 million and 1,000. How do you say that number? 100. Yeah, well, whatever. And D, the house cost 800,000 simoleons. So 500,000, 2 million, 1.1 million, or 800,000. Do 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 do. If you answered C, you are correct. This home was 1.1 million dollars. Okay, simoleons. 1.1 million simoleons. Okay, that's how you say it. Expensive. And honestly, I feel like all the houses that are up the hill in Bridgeport should cost that much. I was looking at the price of all the other houses that are, you know, on the rich people's side, rich and famous people's side, and the most I saw was 100,000 simoleons. It's not that expensive, but maybe in Sims that really is. But I was like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, I need to be up there, okay? If you're gonna be over here and getting this nice view, and you're living next to celebrities, you're living next to people who got money, who are VIPs, who can get in, okay? These are the elite. And you telling me that I can buy a house if I have enough money to? Like, nah, not just anybody can live over here. That's the whole point. This is a gated community, y'all. They even have their own club. So anyways, so they don't have to rub shoulders with the poor. So yeah, I love this house. I loved what I did with it. This is the car that's the only black one because I see it as like the butler uses this one. The butler uses this car to drive them around, and all the other cars are their personal ones. So yeah, I liked what I did with it. I loved the exterior. I added some light because it was looking a little dark. And I'm not gonna lie, if you notice the lights changing, it's because I spent days building this and on and off, and the weather just kept changing in The Sims. I don't know what's up with that. I went back down to the basement because I wanted to finish some touches, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but you probably don't. Did you notice that it changed? You notice there's some differences? That it don't look the same? If you don't notice, I did a damn good job. You can't even tell. Like, I'm looking back and you can't even tell that this is a whole new build. Everything is brand new. It's not the same. So the first clip that you saw of the basement, it's not the same as this one because I had to start all over. But it's the fact that you can't tell, or maybe you can. I did a pretty good job. I pat myself on the back for that one. Thank you. No. But alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe and enjoy the rest of the video. Love y'all. Bye.